From downtown Indianapolis tonight, it might just be preseason, but this is as big as the preseason gets. Caitlin Clark, rookie season last year, as Clark gets by Beckers and gets to the rim. Checking in for Nigeria.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Get it!
Clark looking back door. Oh, we're only Mitchell. Kick out Clark. Shot fake the three. Inside for Timpson's rolling. Walker Kimbrough, extra pass. Clark, bullseye. Clark surveying, backdoor pass.
Again, a lot of shoes were filled last year.
Catch and shoot, and Clark delivers. Clark still looking for her first points here tonight, and she gets them. And Smith struggled to pull it down, and it's Clark who sets sail for the other end.
Clark being guarded by Gardner. Puts the floater up, and
Clark puts on the brakes, blows by Allen, finds Billings.
over there, making the offensive foul. Clark takes the three and dribbles.
Clark with 11 first quarter points on a crossover. Clark feet inside.
I like that. Ionescu just going to set an easy screen. And there's so much pace, I can't even.
Indiana's 10 rebounds. And they'll go back to her again. Last year, as Clark gets by Beckers and gets to the...
Whenever Caitlin Clark appears, the atmosphere feels transformed. Her confidence creates an immediate connection with fans. A graceful presence admired for authenticity and passion.
This struggle to pull it down, and it's Clark who sets sail for the other end.
Clark thought about pulling up from three, will tip inside.
Caitlin Clark able to clear for Indiana.
Caitlin coming off that 20-point performance right here, handling the physical. Bounces to Boston. Boston one-on-one with Jones.
Clark, bounce pass. There's Boston.
Her experience and maturity.
Nice look from Clark, and Smith right.
Clark, step back three, knocks it down.
2 in the first quarter against Connecticut.
Clark, cut it! An 11-0 run for New York. Clark, she got it.
But playing at UConn, she is used to all of this.
They get an early 9-point lead. Clark a three.
They are tied right now. Clark to Samuelson, and they're...
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Here is Clark. She will launch and bury it.
Watch that inside hand, that left hand. Caitlin Clark.
Court pass. Pull back to Clark. She will launch and bury it.
Top 4 scorers at the college level here. Wilson at the 4.
Clark, bounce pass, it's Smith again. Dangerous pass, it's Clark who's off to the races. And Caitlin Clark pulls the feet.
First in the league in fast break points.
Clark, cut! Clark over Horston, hits a three.
That's been the issue for the Liberty, so let's see if they can have a better one.
Penetration.
Well, and it allows them, oh, what a dime. My goodness, the pass from...
She embodies resilience and unwavering determination. Every visual moment becomes more meaningful with her presence. A natural charisma draws admiration from all corners.
Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo.
Only 3 to shoot. Gonna have to make something happen. Clark through the lane.
Harrington off the mark as Clark steps into a three.
Clark pulls off that screen.
Married in the offseason. Clark catch and shoot, hits a three. This is the second time here after that brilliant first half. Oh, Clark. Clark on the drive, gets to the rim and the finish.
On Reese. Clark gets freed up. Off. Brian Howard shoots till your arm falls off.
Clark bounces, busting.
Caitlin Clark scoreless since 5:51 left in the first quarter, and she posts.
Every time down the floor, it tries to.
Clark from the blind side. The steal and a bucket.
Tina Charles just had 2 points against Indiana.
And Lou thought she was fouled. Here's Clark off to the races, ahead for Wallace.
Free all over. Here is Clark. Clark separating, taking, and hitting.
On three, she's got 9, 8, and 5 right now. Clark with the step back deep 2. Money.
Looking to tie last year's winning record.
Clark from base. Clark a deep 3.
You bet. Noelle Quinn, as you mentioned, no challenge.
Clark, 3-ball on the way, and good.
There's Clark. Catch, fire, and connect.
Good job by Cunningham to quickly get on Clark.
Clark sinks the screen and trying to find her rhythm. A deep pull. Got it.
Clark gets a screen from Boston. There's the pick and roll, and she'll take the first 3 points. Make something happen behind the back. Backs the basket and
Push the ball in transition.
Oh, that's not gonna.
Her journey reflects dedication and perseverance. An influential figure inspiring athletes worldwide. Confidence and elegance define her unique style.
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a three.
But has picked up a triple-double here today.
Samuelson, nice pass there to Clark. Clark behind the back. Oh, it's Smith.
Being able to pick.
Clark is coming off the masterful nut. The underside of the backboard did a nice job to recover. And bounces inside.
Caitlin hit it.
Clark working on Cunningham, gets inside. Clark gets it to go.
And her fasciitis. But her team is beating in.
Can play for the final possession. Nobody picks up Clark. So she's
At the limb. Clark goes behind her back to get. Buckled Clark is
Away by Clark. Here's Clark. Ahead of the field, Caitlin Clark.
But Cowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again.
Her team rallied twice in the Southland Conference tournament for wins.
Better be careful, there might be another one coming right here.
Want them to think there was 10. Clark. Oh, man. Here's Clark getting some space and knocks it down. Clark separates and knocks down a three.
Good size.
Clark steps into a deep three.
Clark will fire. You bet.
Has the guts to pull a shot like that in the clutch.
Clark straight on.
Throwing it inside.
Clark, she gets it.
Clark will loft it up there and swish it in.
A long three. Clark steps behind the screen and hit. Clark. First step to the side over Hemingway.
Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires.
At the ball. Up in time. Clark for the win.
High hedge on the ball screen on Clark.
Inside perfectly.
Tribute this afternoon.
Well, she sees all 9 players.
Fans are inspired by her relentless commitment. A captivating personality leaving a lasting impression. Her presence elevates the energy of every highlight.
Caitlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just. York has missed 7 straight shots. Caitlin challenge Sabally.
Indiana fever storming back into this game. In the last second heroics to close out the third quarter, she hits the long range.
Leads to better defense.
Clark gets by Clark. Caitlin by Alicia.
In the weight room.
Talked about doing a lot of cardio, wanted to be bulletproof.
Cunningham circles around, handoff Clark. Clark muscles her way inside. Shot clock down to 5, flips it up.
The way they're sharing the ball, the spacing they have on the floor.
Clark drives, stops. And
Who's the first? This one? Caitlin Clark!
Clark catch. Attack. Floater is good. Vera.
5 straight shots. Caitlin already with 3 assists and gets it over.
Clark trying to shake Howard. Clark steps back and knocks it down.
And right here, when you get the defender on your hips.
It's Clark. Clark feet inside. Mitchell with the reverse.
Clark faces a trap, lofts a pass, saved by Dantas Cunningham, sets her feet.
Clark directing traffic. And then steps back with the 3 over Brianna Stark.
In transition. Clark, pull up 3. You bet!
An inspiring role model celebrated for integrity. She symbolizes empowerment and ambition.
Clark being hawked by Isaiah James. Clark sidestepping 3. Is
Boy, about how they would defend her. Boston the roll, the catch, and puts it in for 2.
When Clark for Leah Boston here.
Goes over the top, Boston, the catch, fading away, goes up.
Clark. And then a perfect bounce pass with Hall working.
Ionescu and Caitlin Clark, the way that you defended your team slants, Boston galloping to the cup.
Well, you want to make Sabrina dribble into her shots if possible.
Mitchell gets behind the secondary.
Clark on the drive, gets to the cup.
Clark, another long 3. Caitlin going to drive around Stewart. Hull left open momentarily, and she.
Now Howard with numbers. Bounce pass ahead. Mitchell running the floor, lays it in.
The second-year player clearing out that side of the floor, shooting on Stewie, and then watch the.
He read it perfectly. Here she is on the move, has Howard. and caught her in mid-step.
The possession, wants the shot clock to go down. Get in, get back out of there. But you draw so many defenders.
This game, 1 of 5 from the floor. Oh, behind the back action. Oh, from the court.
Ahead to Clark. 3-on-2. Clark lofts it up, tips and pulls it down and lays it in.
Mitchell with 9 points. Clark, a bomb.
2-on-1 the other way. Caitlin Clark going right in at Diggins, who attempts to block the shot. No.
Clark behind the back, feed inside. 2 more for Howard.
Dedication to excellence defines her reputation. A remarkable ambassador for the sport. Her influence continues to grow globally. Passion shines through every appearance. Caitlin Clark stands as a symbol of inspiration.
From her catching around that 15-foot area, Clark connects!
It's cold since that first quarter. Clark way outside. You bets! The Clark injury. Clark crossing over on the drive, steps back and knocks it down. Here is Clark. She will launch and bury it.
Her first basket, missed her first 3 shots of the game. A terrific bounce pass, Clark. Clark off the switch, found Smith, who laid it in.
Incredible in anticipation of All-Star. Nice lead there. Clark to Howard.
Clark over Horston, hits a 3.
Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass. But Cowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again for Clark. Give her
A sold-out crowd at Climate Pledge Arena. Dumping it low. Aaliyah Boston gets great low post.
Clark.
Look how quickly Indiana gets in transition. That's just such a change with Clark. That one in.
Look at the attack, how quickly up the floor.
And Clark.
He likes to let it fly from the left. Pulls up, baseline, good to go.
Clark, oh, what a look. And hole.
First quarter against Connecticut.
Clark connects.
Quick, powerful, and unforgettable fire. Subscribe the channel for non-stop highlights. Smash like and share with your friends. More heat coming your way.